Bella. Wanted to do a little workshop with you around releasing, because this is a massive full moon, and this is what we do at every full moon, because the energy of the full moon brings up anything that we need to release. So I want you to just get comfortable. Pen and paper is needed, maybe a glass of water. You know, I want your feet to be able to touch the ground to anchor you, and we're going to connect into your heart chakra and ask it what it would like to release, and then we're going to write it down, and then we're going to burn it in a ceremony. But we have to get there. We have to get it first. It's really powerful because it creates space. And while you're doing that, I'm going to infuse that space with energy healing, with Reiki, with life force. And then it's whatever you wield. It's however you wield that life force to benefit you. So I want you to just relax now and just take a big deep breath, feet flat, palms up. Just resting on your legs. And it's annoying, I close my eyes, but I want you to close your eyes. I've got lipstick all over my face. Sorry. Big deep breath, releasing out. Really good to make a noise when you exhale. This is getting all stale air out of your lungs, rejuvenating your body. And then you're going to say out loud and creating that energy field, and then get your source, get guidance on what it is. So it's like, I now release the need for. Big deep breath. Then repeat out loud after me. I now release the need for. And we're not going to go and look for it. We're just going to see what comes up. A lot of times I do this. Something comes up, or I share with somebody else, and I think, gosh, that's so good, right? So we're trying to get something that you don't already know. So just saying this again, getting your pen and paper and writing down, I now release the need for. So we don't want to do a double sort of negative thing. So I don't want to release the need for not having a boyfriend, or not having a husband, or not having, you know, my life force or life purpose or whatever. So you're not going to say, I'm going to release the need for not having it. So in that sense, you would say, I would release the need, right? I've got here, I would release the need to be single. Obviously that's a need that needs to be released. I release the need, and you can put in, I release the need for being size 14. Releasing that need now. I release the need, you know, and then you could think of habits. You say, I release the need for sugar. I release the need for debt. I release the need for excess weight. I release the need to worry. I release, and it could be a health issue. I release my high blood pressure. I release my anxiety. I now release any negative habit. Drinking, smoking, not meditating like there's a knot. See, gets you, doesn't it? So it's like I release the need to worry. I release the need to not feel connected. I release the need to feel that I'm not going to receive everything I need. Then you write down, I release the pattern in my subconscious mind that has created this condition. Now the reason that you're writing it down, right, is to put it onto the earth plane. Takes it out of your energetic field, which we talked about the chakras in my previous videos. The energy field takes it out of there, puts it onto the earth plane, and then you actually will release it. On the new moon, we buzz it up. We magnify our wishes. Full moon, we release fears. So then I want you to just see what else is coming up as I talk. And I've got here, I now release the need for, and it can be, I will now release the pattern in my subconscious mind, that has created this condition. And I've got being single, narcissistic abuse, right? If you're an empath or a Blu-ray, you've experienced that. I release the need for any codependent relationships in my life. I release the need for bad habit. I release the need for debt. I release the need for being in the thought prisons, that is. I release the need to be in the matrix. I release the need, right? So this is releasing. It's not bringing in. They're also saying they want you to include in writing this down is I release the need, right, for any pain in my heart. Because there's a new template coming down. So I want you to write down, I now release the old template of love from my heart. I now release the old template of relationships from my heart, mind, and psychic aura. We're just putting it on paper, you need to write it down. So we're going to write it all down. This is sort of the workshop bit. So I'm going to come back in a minute. We're going to do the actual, you know, but this is just to figure it out. I just want this to sit with you for a minute. What else could you release? What else don't you want in your life? Right? We've got to release pain from humanity. We release the need for any pain. We release the need for any children being tortured. Right? We now release the need for any darkness. And we now release the need for any low vibrations. And we now release the need for anything that is not of love. But we want to do this on a personal scale. That's why I'm having this with you, because it's like we've got to clear you up first. You've got to feel like you're clearing and you're releasing, so you can release any pain from the past. You might put down an actual person's name. I now release so-and-so from my psychic aura, from my heart and my mind. You might write down, I now release the need to panic around money. I now release the need, right, whatever it is. I release the pattern in my subconscious mind that has created this condition. And then just see whatever else comes up as anywhere in health or money or love or anything that you notice that has come up that you think is hindering you. So I release anything that is hindering me from moving forward on my path. Can't say I release anything that stops me from being with so-and-so. I release anything that stops me from being with that job. We're not doing outside things. We're releasing the need within, right, of any bad habits or anything like that. So I just got another message for you guys tonight. Is to get it out on paper, is to write it down and then to release it. So if you've got 3 or 4 pages, just keep going, keep going, keep going. I'm going to come back and do a little meditation and a little bit of a ritual, and just so that's, you know, leave this for 24 hours, come back and do the full moon ritual with me and bring all your beliefs, false beliefs. I release all the need for any false beliefs. I release all the need for carrying any beliefs that no longer serve me. I now release all people from my life that no longer serve me. I now am open, right, to releasing any relationship that does not serve my highest purpose and my greatest good. And I release the need for blah, blah, blah. So I've been doing these for a while, and through the ascension process, right, I realized that underneath things there are beliefs. So I was wanting, you know, to release the need to carry any excess weight. However, I needed it to stay here. I just fly around and so yeah, Bella's not here, right? So I needed that. I chose this body to anchor it down, and I'm actually okay with that. But what happened is it was a belief system underneath. It was overnight, right, the last full moon overnight, I let go of sugar. I released the need for sugar. I mean, in coffee and tea, like, you know, teaspoons of sugar. I don't have it in the house. I mean, not all sugar. Let's not get too carried away. But, you know, you realise that that is like a kilo of sugar I was buying every couple of weeks or every month. And I was eating the whole thing. So I released the need for sugar. Butter, released the need for butter because it made me feel nurtured and loved, like I was, having marmalade on toast. It's like a grandma yummy feeling. And the other thing was milk, butter and sugar overnight. And underneath that, right, before it actually released, I came to terms with that was a belief. It's like, oh my gosh, underneath that was a belief of they're the staples, right? Because that's where my parents' generation came from, the depression. They had to preserve food. They didn't just have it down the road. They had to have the cows, they had to have the milk, butter and sugar, and you can make anything with a bit of flour, right? Shove something in it. It's like you got pancakes, you got pie. So I came from a belief system, wasn't even mine, it was my parents. Come out of the depression, you must have your staples. You must have sugar, butter and milk. So I've given up milk. Someone, soy and everything, which I enjoy, but I just thought, how funny, those 3 items just don't go into my trolley, like I don't shop for them, and they're completely out of my diet, and I haven't looked back. So releasing the belief that you have to have those staples to survive was in my genetic coding, and I would just buy it without even thinking, right? That's not being awake. As soon as I woke up, I went, what am I doing? And then I went underneath, and it was like, my belief system was like, as long as you have these things, you will be safe, right? So then I had to clear that out, because that's not my belief system. I believe that without any milk, any sugar, and any, what was the other thing? Oh my gosh, I can't even remember it. Without them was, you couldn't create anything. Milk. So I've drunk lots of milk all my life, and then your ego coming, we need calcium. It's like, no, actually your body doesn't know how to digest milk, because that's like you're at the udder of a cow going, anyway, let's not go there. So you'll be fine without milk, right? So there's lots of different calcium substitutes that have come in, lots of leafy green vegetables, eating different, as long as you're doing that. So that happened through a release your fears fire ceremony I did, right? So that actually unearthed then something underneath. So then I had to release the belief. I released the belief that having those staples in my kitchen makes me feel safe. That I'm not going to starve to death or whatever. It's like, now I release that. So we're releasing a lot of stuff from our genetic coding, and that's what a lot of people who are the way shows and going really forward at the moment, full moons will bring up patterns in your genetic coding. So please think about letting that's not even about my belief system. My parents believe that. I don't have to believe that. I can release that belief, and in its place I'm going to put this. So, even looking at beliefs that don't serve you, right? And, just things, and then underneath it, beliefs. But I found that really interesting, how staples in your kitchen and carrying extra sort of excess weight was a belief system taken from after the depression through my genetic coding that I'd actually absorbed and was holding on to, which didn't serve me. It was like amazing. So, dig a bit deeper, let this rest overnight, come back the next day, and then we're going to put them more down, add to it. You could have 2 or 3 pages if this is your first time. If this isn't your first time, get at least 10 things that you want to release. It can be a feeling. I release the need to feel anxious. I release the need to feel upset. I release the need to feel like stuck in my throat, right? I release the need to feel less than. I release the need to feel closed in, to feel like I can't get where I need to go. So, just sending any, we're clearing this right now from your energetic matrix, and we just want to actually send you down some Reiki symbols, because Reiki brings you back into the present moment. And that's where we need to be to release, and that's where we need to be to actually receive, and then that's where we need to be to actually manifest what we want, because it goes through our energy field and we manifest it because we are the actual creators. So we've got to make room, we've got to get rid of this. And I'm telling you, every month this comes up. So every month you need to do this as a ritual, and the time is now. So give yourself another couple of seconds after this, anytime through the night, or you know, you might go, oh, yes, I released that. Get it on paper, and then we're going to forget about it. But don't keep doing it through the months, just for this, just for the full moon. And we'll release them together. So get them together and look at my next video about the full moon ritual, and I'll take you through it. I have to do it on full moon. I love you. Okay, talk to you soon. Hi, it's full moon time, and we are going to do a release your fears with fire ceremony and Reiki. So before any ceremony, you will ground yourself, hands on Reiki On. It's the quickest form of grounding with your breath. I'm going to set an intention for the angels to come in, our guides, our Reiki master, our Reiki guide, the Reiki masters. Hawaii o takata chujiro hashi mika osui, we call upon you now. We're writing down and letting go of lots of things, depending on what stage you're at. So we had a little workshop. This is more advanced, release your fears with the ceremony. So taking a pen and paper and getting somewhere comfortable. Also, if you do have charcoal, frankincense, and you're a master, you know how to use these things with symbols, get those. You need to have a charcoal, frankincense, a candle burning, somewhere to put the charcoal. Pen and paper, we're going to write down, release your fears. So get your pen and paper. And also what I do is I actually soak skewers in water and then wait for them to dry, so they don't burn like tinder. And then I'm going to put your fears on here, and we're going to burn them. So I also have a little bowl of water, so you may like to get that as well. And when you're comfortable, get your feet flat, palms up, and I'm going to bring in the Reiki Master symbols for you, because we're going to do a little ceremony. We need to be safe. We need our breath to connect. We bring in the 4 master symbols of Reiki because we want physical protection and grounding. We want to take out time and space, and we want to have emotional and spiritual healing. So this is a perfect time to do it, full moon, because the energy of the full moon brings up stuff to clear. So it's an easier time for you to do it. It's a natural process. So you will start with just saying to yourself, I release the need for. And take your pen and paper and just write that down. I release the need for. And then you might just put a couple of, because we're going to list a few things. See, like that? I've got writing like a doctor, haven't I? I know. So neat. I release the need for. And then underneath that, you're going to write, I release the pattern in my subconscious mind that has created this condition. Now you go as far as you want to go, but I'm going to go all the way. So I'm going to go into advanced, and then I'm going to go into releasing old paradigms of love. So hang around until the end, and just whatever comes up for you. So just sitting with your palms up in the state of receiving, feet flat, just closing your eyes and just saying that over and over again. She said, I release the need for, I release the need for, I release the need for. And just notice what comes up. Now here we're using our clairs, not our mind. So your clairvoyance, you might get a picture or a memory. Clairaudience, you might remember the lyrics of a song or some conversation you had, or, you know, some memory of a high-pitched scream or an accident. In your claircognizance, there's a sense of knowing that this is it, that this is what I need to release, and it comes up. And then there's the clairsentience, where you think, I just want to release a feeling. I don't want to feel like this anymore. So just allowing your soul, your heart to connect through the power of this Reiki transmission to collect that. So you're going to use your mind as a tool to detach and actually watch what comes up. And then what you're going to do is grab what you don't like, that you want to release, and you're going to anchor it down onto the earth plane through writing it down on paper. Very, very powerful, especially at this time. So I release the need for. You could say, as we did in the last one, things like habits. So I would release the need for, or the need to. So this comes into addictions as well. So they just showed me I release the need to gamble. I release the need to, it's like spend money. A lot of you out there can't hold on to money, because then you're going to release the need for lack of self-worth, right? I release the need to be single. I release the need for pain and trauma in my life. I release the need for any debt. I release the need for. You could say also, I release, I've done this so many times, that's why it's not a lot coming up for me. So they're saying we could release fear here, and also resistance. Because I just feel I have a lot of resistance to things. So I'm going to do this as well. I release any resistance to exercising daily, to meditating easily and often. Release the need to be. So then you could say I release any feelings, the need for any feelings of anxiety, depression. We release any feelings of unworthiness. Going into the more advanced is releasing the pattern in my subconscious mind that has created this condition. There's just a few things I'm going to add in here for help with if you're up to this stage. I release all pain from my energetic matrix, including pain or karma. I'm going to say pain or karmic bonds from my bloodline, from my DNA family. And just say in this life or any other. The other thing we need to release is I release all fear of being persecuted for speaking my truth. With love, of course, with love. So just writing, keep breathing. I release the need for, I'm just saying this so it prompts you, for any fat, any fat, salt or sugar, I don't know why I'm saying that, in my diet. So we want to also, that's the other thing, I release any need for narcissistic abuse, symptoms of, got a goosebumps, codependency, you can actually comment below and just say any extra things that you got, because it really helps when somebody else says, you go, oh yes, I want that one. So any narcissistic abuse, any symptoms of codependency or love addiction. I now release all addictions from my life and ask Uriel, Archangel Uriel, the psychological angel, is with you day and night for free. Just have to ask, right? So he's your psychologist who's available to you all the time. So you pour out your heart to Uriel. He's your psychological angel coming to help you heal. So we now release all that pain and ask Uriel to clear it from our heart, mind, and psychic aura in all directions of space and time. So I'm just going to do another three big deep breaths and just finish writing in these breaths. If you feel so inclined, they just gave me another one. It's just a massive full moon. We're releasing genetic coding patterns that we've stored. We're releasing karmic bonds that are being absolved. We're releasing past life karma and pain. And then we're doing it on the bloodlines. And then we're doing it on the collective energy of the masculine and the feminine. Forgot what I was going to do then. I release the need. Oh, yes. So if you feel so inclined, we're going to also now release any vows that you made in any past lives. So I release all vows of poverty, chastity, self-sabotage, or disconnection to source. We now cut these vows and release them in all directions of space and time. So Kuan Yin just came in, and this is to replace that with compassion, with forgiveness. And in Reiki we actually have a Kuan Yin symbol, so I'm just giving it to you now. It's called compassion. It's called Kuan Yin. And it goes like this. It's really beautiful. It's one of my favorite symbols, and it just brings harmony and compassion in place of this releasing. So you only do as much as you can do. So when you've written enough, right, you could say, I release the need for, arguments with so-and-so, or I release the need to have any feelings of disassociation. Remember the feelings? So we're releasing the feelings, we're releasing resistance, we're releasing genetic patterns and codings. So the final one, we're going to do it. I have to write it down. Is I now release. Sorry, I'm being channeled, right? So that's why it comes through. So don't prepare it. It's organic and it's for you, the listeners, so we tune in. It's like tuning in as a collective. It's like a collective shabam. So, we now release the old paradigm of relationships. We now release, so it's now, we're doing it we now release the old template of love and union or marriage. And this is where we're talking about relationships as in romantic relationships. How till death do us part maybe isn't sustainable, as we've proven in the long term. So as with me, you'll know if you've been with me in many of my classes or been with me for a while, like I only will share with you what has worked for me. So this works, but if you don't do it, it's not going to work. So I'm going to get our soaked up alala that's dried, secure, and then you rip so I didn't tell you, into pieces. So you take your piece of paper and just rip it into shreds like this, and then actually do this. Now I'm doing this with you, right, because I want you to say the right thing when you burn it, because it's really important. Did you hear that? So we did this, a really powerful one, on the full moon in Bali, if those of you who remember. I went to Bali with my retreat, and it was very, very powerful. We handed it over to our ancestors, because they're very spiritual over there, and they were lighting. They talk to their ancestors every day. I think they do it morning and night. And we had a driver, and I was saying to him, your mum's here, because they're really spiritual. He goes and talks to his mum on the other side. She passed. And I said, she keeps saying to me, which is, I got goosebumps now. So just asking Archangel Michael to come in, because we're clearing this. But I said to him, one day we're driving, and I said, I think your mum's here from the other side, which you normally wouldn't say to anybody. Well, I wouldn't. And he goes, oh, yeah, Mum, I went to, it was something, a ceremony last night. I can't understand what he was saying. And I said, well, she kept saying to me, ask him what day it is. She keeps saying it was the night before. And I said, so what day is it? And he goes, it's my birthday. I was like, oh my gosh, I never thought of that. I kept telling her to be quiet, go away. You know, you think you're imagining these things. And then we had like a lovely day, but I thought he was so open to hearing it that it was so easy and it just flowed. So we're going to look for fire now. And we're going to, my candle here. Right, so I've got a little candle lit. Doesn't seem to be enough spark. So we're just going to put it on here, but I've got the bottle of water. Oh yes, we're going to spark. Right, so I'm just going to open my window. Make sure there's no children around or animals. And you set it alight like this. And then we're going to say, I now release. I now release all pain, all genetic coding, all fears from this life or any other, all vows of poverty or chastity. We now hand this over to our ancestors, and we ask it to be transmuted into love and light. We release this with love. So now I'm putting it just in here, see, in here. I'm going to put it in water. So I burn it, and then I drown it, and then I bury it. So I'm just going to bring you in some sealing energy. Christos, Christos, Christos. And we ask that in this place of this releasing through our genetics and through our energy field today, that we be infused with Reiki through Bella or from your guardian angel, accept love, or receive it straight from source through your higher self, through your crown. And that this be infused now, the space we've created with any releasing, with love. And with the space to bring in the new divine love template. We want to thank the guides, angels and masters for being here. We thank you, Archangel Michael, especially, as we know you're with us at this time and overseeing us, and you're available to us 24 hours, 7 days a week. And all we have to do is ask. So we call upon you now to surround us with your protective cloak and shield, your blue shield. And we ask for your sword and your shield of protection to be by our side day and night. So I haven't lit the frankincense because it wasn't needed. You need that when it's a big boost. So maybe I'll do it in one of my later videos. But I want to let you know to take it easy in the next couple of days, because what you release comes back to test you for one last goodbye. So it must be grounded, and then it won't affect you. If your energy's up here, it can bowl you over underneath. If you're not protected in the crown, they can, energy can come in here and cause distress. So thank you for being here today. Thank you for your time and your attention, and I'll see you in the next video. or in a personal reading or healing. Love you, bye.